This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 568, Why I Don't Prep for Photoshoots, by Neghar Fonooni of negharfonooni.com, and I'm your host and narrator, Dr. Neil. Happy middle of the week Wednesday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best health and fitness blogs to you, usually with a little bit of commentary at the end. All right, it's midweek. I think we're due for an inspirational quote, and I actually happened to hear this while driving on my way to record this episode. I've been listening to an audiobook called The Genius in All of Us by David Shank, and so let me quote him here. Greatness and talent aren't things. They are the result of a process. End quote. Now, before I get to today's post, don't forget, I answer your questions every Friday. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. You can send me a question at oldpodcast.com. If you do, you'll be entered into small special raffles to win books from us, and you make me super happy because I love answering your questions. But that'll have to wait, because for now, we got to get right to today's post and start optimizing your life. Why I Don't Prep for Photoshoots by Neghar Fonooni of negharfonooni.com. I'm nursing a photo shoot hangover this morning. Typically, I would spend weeks getting ready for a shoot, and the prep is never fun. Think super restricted diet and twice-a-day workouts. The day of the shoot itself is a hectic, exhausting flurry. Hair, makeup, more makeup, outfits strewn about. Sometimes you're changing in a car. Other times, a not-so-glamorous beach bathroom. I forgot my lotion and called my husband to bring some on location. I sweat through one of my outfits. I lost one of my favorite earrings in the sand. Apparently, when you lose something in the sand, it's gone forever. All this to say, photo shoots are wild. This morning, I've got more leftover pomade and product in my hair than is ever advisable, and I'm completely exhausted from yesterday's shenanigans. But the one thing I'm not doing that I always used to do after shoots? Binging on junk food. Why? Well, simple. I just didn't prep. And it's the severe restrictive prepping that almost always leads to a post-shoot or post-event or post-vacation binge. I kept thinking I was going to prep. I kept saying, okay, you have 2 weeks, keep it tight. A week would roll by and I was still living my normal life as usual, no tweaks to my nutrition or exercise. Okay, you got 1 week, you can shed some bloat in a week. And it's true, I could have. I know what to do to shed water, and I could easily have tightened up my diet for a week. The thing is, it just didn't work out that way. I was traveling, socializing, and eating dinners out with family. The week of the shoot, I ate Chinese food, barbecue, and Mexican food, all in the same week. Talk about anti-photo shoot prep. So the day of the shoot arrives and I'm still strutting around in the exact same physique as 2 weeks prior. I don't know how much I weigh because I just don't do that anymore, but it's safe to say I am nowhere near my leanest ever. The truth is I haven't been my leanest ever in over 3 years, and at some point that became totally okay with me. My preferred lifestyle just doesn't fit in with the leanest ever model anymore. As I was getting ready for the shoot, which was primarily intended to get some new images to rebrand my website, I had this moment of panic. I'm not ready. I experienced a sudden emotional hit that sent me reeling into thoughts like, why couldn't you just tighten up your diet for 2 weeks? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you more disciplined? I sat with those feelings. I didn't judge them or label them as bad. I just got intimate with them, as uncomfortable as that was. I took the time to let the feelings run through me, and as a result, I discovered this. I didn't prep for the shoot because prepping for a shoot takes me way out of my integrity. So instead of stressing out over my body, I poured a glass of Sauvignon Blanc as I got my makeup done and just settled into the mood. Photo shoots are exhausting, but they're also fun as long as you relax and aren't body conscious the entire time. I was only able to relax, however, because I affirmed that my lack of prep had nothing to do with discipline or desire. It had to do with the fact that the entire idea of prepping makes me feel icky inside. It's inauthentic to the person I am today. Sure, I could have spent 2 weeks restricting my diet so I'd be a wee bit tighter in my photos, but how is that authentically me? It just isn't. And the purpose of this shoot was to rebrand my website to reflect the woman I am today. The woman I have evolved into thus far does not feel in her integrity or in her power when she's prepping for a shoot. Instead, I want my website and my brand to reflect who I am, imperfections and all. This is scary, of course, because vulnerability always is. But if I'm consistently authentic in my business, then I'll always feel as though I'm on the right path. There's nothing wrong with prepping for a photo shoot, of course. Tons of people do it, and I'm all for everyone doing what works for them. But the message that I want to portray is that I don't need to prep. I'm ready now, simply because this is who I am. And I want to give folks everywhere permission to be ready now as well. If you want to prep for a wedding, an event, a vacation, or a photo shoot, go for it. But I want you to know and believe that you don't need to. Yes, I encourage you to make regular exercise and healthy eating a part of your normal lifestyle, but I also want you to believe that you are ready now. Why? Because you are worthy now. Simple as that, period. You just listened to the post titled, Why I Don't Prep for Photo Shoots by Neghar Fonooni of negharfonooni.com. It takes a lot of courage to do what Miss Fonooni's doing. To be vulnerable, to show your imperfections, that's not easy. And especially when you're trying to build a brand around fitness and how good you look and how if you just follow certain things, you can look this way too. But it's so impressive that that's not what she's about. She's about accepting yourself for who you are. And I think she would agree with me when I say that accepting yourself for who you are is different than not reaching your potential. Because we can always use the, well, I'm just who I am, and that's just going to be a person who doesn't exercise or doesn't eat nutritiously. Yeah, but you could also be the person who tries to do those things to reach their optimal potential, to maximize those genes that you have inside you to be the best that you can be. And there doesn't have to be a compromise of your integrity, as Ms. Fonooni said, to get to that point. Think about it. You are the product of thousands of years of genetics, of survival. You are here because your ancestors survived. So let's make them proud and let's maximize our potential. And why should we do that? Well, to quote Ms. Fonooni, because you're worthy now. All right, like I mentioned at the top of the show, I answer your questions right here on the podcast every Friday in special Q&A episodes. You can ask me anything related to diet and nutrition, stress management, exercise, and lots more. If you've asked me a question and I haven't answered it yet, I'm hoping to do another speed round, so I might get to your question then. But please know I listen to all of the questions that you send me, and I appreciate you asking. So if you want to do the same, you can call and leave a message with your question by dialing the phone number 61 I love OHD, or you can send in an audio question through our site, oldpodcast.com/ask. That's more friendly if you want to do multiple takes and hear yourself before sending it in. And by the way, if you send in a question, you're entered into small special raffles to win books every month. And it makes me super happy. All right, that does it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll be back here tomorrow with a post from regular contributor Zen Habits and where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.